Okay, we're finally going to get caught up on natural gas. Going back to Thanksgiving, this was the last opportunity for December 2014. As soon as we hit December 1, we started trading futures for January 2015, which has taken us back below $4 per MMBTU for slight parts of the afternoon. Now we have to decide, how's the month going to continue? How will we continue in the near and distant future? And we have opposing schools of belief there. They are bear and bull drivers, or bullish or bearish. It's a bear's market, it's a bull's market. These are all expressions that people who watch these markets and really gamble in these markets, because that's what commodities trading is, sophisticated gambling, they either believe that market will have a tendency to go up, which is bear, or prices will continue to bear down, and so the pressure of certain factors will lower the costs of any given market that's being watched. So within the world of power, we have so many things that play into that. Weather is a huge factor. Our short-term weather forecast is slightly warmer than we're expecting, so we might see some relief in the gas market because of weather there. But keep in mind, where you have one factor that may do one thing, you may have two or three that dictate another curve. So just because we're having a warmer weather stretch does not mean that prices are going to go down. We have to see what other threats are out there. And the longer term forecast is for an especially cold winter. And remember, we are 20% lower than we were last year, and we have infrastructure problems. So I believe that this lull we're seeing here is a temporary one, and it is a prudent move to negotiate and lock any contracts you can, especially during the holidays. And in my opinion, that's just shrewd timing. So don't think that you should not carve out time to discuss with an energy consultant, you're welcome to use me, what your strategy ought to be for your home or your business during the holidays, because as you can see here, this always ends up being a good time. I can kind of, if anybody's interested, just ask me. I'll be happy to back that up. I always make this prediction, and market just gets sweeter over the holidays, even if it's for little periods of time, and you just have to watch for them. So let's take a look at where we were in early October trading for the November strip, and we were nicely under $4 per MMBTU. Toward the end of October, we actually got closer to 3.5 at some periods. So if you were to lock your energy contract in this window of time, just for instance for electricity for Texas, you'd have been paying under 6 cents per kilowatt hour for your small business, or even possibly your home if it's timed right. Talk with someone about that in Texas. You know, there are things you can do. Anyway, now I just pulled a contract for a fellow today in Dallas, and he doesn't use all that much power. He uses less than 150,000 kilowatt hours a year, but his same price is over 6 cents, and this is while market has had a nice little lull. So you can see how these things affect and show up in electricity pricing. Back to the bear and bull summary, some other exciting news is that Virginia has 2 new gas power plants it's going to be opening in the near future, one of them as near as early next year. So in the next few months, Virginia will have some brand new natural gas production there. 2017, we've got another plant set to open in Virginia as well. Some bad news is we've got another piece of legislation that's come through and going to be forcing a little bit of a ruckus in our coal power production plants. So there's a forecast that by 2020 we could be looking at $18 per megawatt in energy, which translates in Texas, just for instance, to, you know, if our average power rates in Texas are 8.77 cents, that would be closer to 22 or 25 cents. And that would be a good deal on an energy contract if we started trading at $18 per MMBTU for small businesses. So that's the kind of thing that makes people close their doors. If you are on the fence of whether or not energy is going to go up or down, my advice to you would be that decide how much risk is associated with that. If your decision costs you less than 1% of your own salary, then you've wasted money spending a week thinking about something that will only end up costing you $100 a year. However, making the wrong move in the market could cost you thousands of dollars if you don't listen to the advice of someone who's telling you, as I am, don't be afraid to sign a contract now. You have the opportunity to protect yourself for as long as 5 years. Take the opportunity to protect yourself. Market is low right now. It may get a tiny bit lower. It's going to get a tiny bit higher. Make your move before it gets a lot higher, because at some point it most definitely will, and this is the time to protect yourself.